Back for more of the Argonaut Weekly here at GoArgos.com. Rob Wald along with head baseball coach Mike Jeffcoat. Yet another awesome week for baseball. They went 3-0, swept Delta State, a GSC opponent, a fellow top 20 member, and coach, that has to feel good. You bring in one of the traditionally strong programs of the GSC, your first top 20 test of the season, and you guys pass with flying colors. 12-6, 10-1, 3-0 on Sunday. 3 dominant victories for your guys.
Yeah, I was really proud. I tell you what, always we look at Delta State as a barometer where we're going to be, and of course next year they'll move into the East with Christian Brothers, and we'll play them in the regular season conference. But our guys played well, and to get 3 victories, I think that's our first sweep ever against Delta State. It was very gratifying. It's always a tough road when you're coaching against Mike Kennison. They're always going to play hard, and our guys were up to the challenge.
And it was one of those weeks, one of those series where different guys stepped up whenever you needed to. Gave up 6 runs, fell behind in the first game, but the bats came alive. 22 combined runs on Saturday. Sunday, the offense wasn't really hitting the cover off the ball. Base runners were a struggle, and Daniel Vargas Vila pitched extremely well. It seemed like anytime you needed somebody to step up this weekend, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, the offense was really good on Saturday. Postel came out in the first inning a little bit overthrowing. They were aggressive and put some hits together and put 3 runs on the board. But I was real proud of our guys. We answered with 2 in the bottom of the inning and, got it back to a 1-run game. And then we started tacking off from there. And, Jason does what he always does. He settled down and started mowing them down. I think he struck out 10, went 8 innings for us. And then the second game, we were able to put some big spots on the board and open it up. And, Ben Hawkins did another outstanding job, went 6 innings in the 7-inning game. And then, of course, yesterday, I kind of liked that game. I was looking forward to having a closer ball game. We need to have experience in those games. And Danny Vargas obviously did an outstanding job, and it was a little bit of redemption from his weekend before start against Flagler when he didn't throw well. And I challenged him all week, and I told him the Sunday game was going to be a big game for him, and boy, he couldn't ask for any more.
What was the difference between his performance on Sunday and his Flagler game? I know that was his worst outing of what is a very young season so far, but still did not pitch particularly well. But they couldn't touch him yesterday. A one-hitter over 9 innings, fanning guys right and left. Delta State rarely hit a ball hard off of him. He had 6 days off in between starts. Talk about the adjustments that he made and the differences between the 2 outings.
Yeah, well, he was up in the zone against Flagler. He never could get his fastball down in the zone to start the game. And we worked on that hard all week long, pounding the bottom of the zone, getting the ball off the dish away from the right-handed hitters. And he was able to establish that. And he had some bullpens in the middle of the week where he was able to do that. And I told him, you got to transfer that to the game. And but I think we struck out 27, 28 Delta State hitters in 3 games, and that rarely ever happens. They're always a good club that puts the ball in play. But credit to our pitchers. Our starters did a really good job. They showed good command, and they were able to locate when we were heading the count. And good things happen when you can do that. We had a few little innings there where they got behind. Our big concern right now is getting our bullpen guys some more work. So we're going to do some inter-squad this week and try to get them some more work. Big weekend coming up with Florida Southern, so we don't have a whole lot of time to savor the victory. We got to put it behind us and start moving forward on Florida Southern.
We'll talk about next weekend in a moment, but this weekend was Hall of Fame weekend at UWF. Of course, you guys had Brian Lee, class of 05, I believe it was, who went into the UWF Hall of Fame. Do you think that affects the guys at all, causes them to step their game up? They've got a Hall of Famer. Obviously, he was ingrained in your weekend throughout the first pitch, met with the guys. Do you think that affected them at all and caused them, with a Hall of Famer in the building, to step up their games at all?
Yeah, well, it brought me to a great analogy that I gave my team before we opened up with Delta State on Saturday. And it was related to Brian Lee. Brian Lee's a 5'10" kid that's not very big, but he pitched like he was 6'6" and just knew he was better. And, it brought me to a great analogy I gave my team about the Karelian bear dog. And that dog is small, but he is, he chases after them bears, and the bears are afraid of him. And I told him the reason that he does that is not because he's bigger, stronger, faster, but because he believes he is. And I said that's what Brian Lee was. So it was a great honor to have Brian Lee going to the Hall of Fame. You know, he really was the start of something special with our pitching here, and you know, so our guys responded, and I'm real proud of it.
You guys continue to climb in the national polls, up to the top 10, number 8 in one poll, approaching the top 10 in others. Of course, we got the baseball writers poll, which comes out for the first time this week. But you've got an equally good opponent coming in this week. Your toughest one, you had Florida Southern, always a national powerhouse in Division II, and as well as you guys have played so far, 10 victories in 11 games, you're going to have to play even better, I would think, to score the season or the series win over Florida Southern.
Yeah, you know, I mean, Florida Southern's kind of been the standard in Division II for a long time. 9 national titles in baseball. We took 2 of 3 from them at a neutral site a couple years back, but we haven't won a series against them at our place or their place. And so, you know, it's time for us to step up, and it's going to be a great challenge. And if we want to position ourselves in the region and have some momentum going into conference the following weekend, you know, it's our time.
Baseball continues to build on an impressive season, 10-1 after a sweep of Delta State. Now that Sunday victory, 3-0 over Delta State, starting Monday afternoon. You can watch that game on demand at GoArgos.com through our Game Central portal. Then this weekend, a doubleheader Saturday against Florida Southern, a single game on Sunday. You can listen live to both of those games at GoArgos.com, and also Sunday's game will be available, the video that is, on demand on Monday afternoon right here at GoArgos.com.